What's up, everybody? Your boy Melvin in our classic review. And today, me talking about my thoughts on another episode. This time from The Sweet Life on Deck. Since we did the Ghost of Sweet 613, why not the other Halloween special? More involving ghosts than a walking robot. Yeah, the one I'm talking about is The Ghost and Mr. Martin. The 11th episode of Season 3 of The Sweet Life on Deck, which aired on Disney Channel on October 8th of 2010, which I think I was in middle school at the time, in the 8th grade when this came out. And oh boy, I consider this one of my favorites because I have a weak spot for ghost stories, especially if it's from New Orleans. Because why not? Who doesn't love a ghost story from New Orleans? Everybody does. Anybody who visits the famous cemeteries in the French Quarter town? It's gonna be good. And before we begin, did you subscribe? Did you hit the bell? If so, did you get a big fat F on your history report based on a video game? Well, you're gonna be getting some help from a ghost who's gonna teach you the real history of what actually happened. So yeah, as you know, this was the the 11th episode of season 3, which, oh boy. Which, of course, it was directed by Joel Zwick, written by Danny Callis, Jim Guggen, and Pamela Els. Which, of course, is considered one of the memorable ones for during October. And also one of my favorites. Because, come on, you'll see why. Most people say. And also, the namesake is based on, well, two movies I think I know. One from the 1940s called The Ghost of Mrs. Muir, based on a story of the same name, and including the comedy film starring Don Knotts called The Ghost of Mr. Chicken. Yeah, I recommend watching it because I upload the organ theme from my channel from The Ghost of Mr. Chicken, which all you like. And people keep quoting from the movie like, they used bomb at me. So yeah. So what happened here? Let's find out. So we have Zach, who is in the lounge after he gets a big fat F on his history paper based on a video game. Yeah. Well, Cody and Woody are set out to explore New Orleans, rather raving mostly on how interesting the food in New Orleans sounds like. Literally, they start sounding like, okay, when I say jambalaya, they say jambalaya. I'd say that. Then try another one. Crawfish. I don't know what the others were, but hey. Of course, while they left, Mr. Moseby giving a little tour to the cruise guests and showing them through because in the lounge they hang out, there's a glass in the bottom. You see the bottom of the ocean, and he's showing, that's what he's presenting, the shipwreck of the Jezebel, a 19th century Louisiana steamship. Zach caught interest in it, and Mosey explains 150 years ago, a skipper named Captain Antonio misread his compass because he was in the rush because he was about to propose to his lover, Jezebel, but he allowed the ship to run aground on Dead Man's Rock, causing his death and his infamy. Which, of course, starts a spark of strange occurrences. And we do have a little side plot with London and Bailey. When they're walking around, Go to the cabin. They hear a piano playing in Mr. Moseby's cabin. When they open, they see Mr. Moseby playing the piano. That's when the two applause. He likes it until he passes out. The two manage to wake up Mr. Moseby, and he explained that he hasn't played the piano due to a trauma, aka stage fright, when he was a little boy. And reveal his underwear. Yeah. Because he traumatized experience having his underwear split and reveal his underwear when making his introductory bow at his piano recital. When he was 8, causing him to pass out on stage and land on his knee and destroying his ballet skills. Literally. Later that night, Zach worked on his paper on the top deck near the bar. That's when paranormal occurrence started to happen. Like on his computer, started keep changing the words "just a bell" multiple times. Literally, again and again and again. Freaking out Zach. Well, this happens, London Bailey trying to help Moseby to conquer his fear by making a comeback by tricking him into thinking he's playing alone in the grand piano while some staff are secretly listening in. Eventually, when they applause, he actually joins it until he faints and smacks his head on the keys. Cody and Woody pay a visit to Zach in the cabin, which of course he freaks over his pile of dirty socks, where on the left had been moved to the right, which of course the other two didn't care. But that's when the firm fact that the ghost captain Antonio needs his help. Zach has turned to prove his fury by making his twin and Woody to stay in the night with the laptop's camera on. Yeah, something from Paranormal Activity. During the night, all of them sleep, which is actually, I like the song that it was used in there. It's actually pretty funny. It's like Paranormal Activity. Which, of course, during the whole night, let's just say, oh boy. Again, paranormal things started to happen, prompting Cody and Zach believing, well, let's just say when they woke up, Zach woke them up, which of course to see their whole recording. Well, it's actually pretty funny. They see through the whole video. First, it was Cody talking through his sleep, begging Bailey to come back, a reference to their breakup in Paris. And of course, Zach waking up and flicking Cody's ear, which is the reason of his childhood earache. And finally, the most creepy of all three of them sleep, talk, and saying the word innocent. And all three of them drop to the bed sleeping, which freaks him out, which Woody points to them and saying, he's in here! Which the furniture stacked in front of the door, which freaks them out, and they were trying to escape, but they had to take the furniture out. Yeah. That's how funny it is. Next day, the Historical Society costume party is taking place at the SS Tipton, booking another lie for Bailey and London to use Moseby's piano dream. Of course, that night, the trio flirt, nerd, gross out, go on Ghost Hunt during the Skydeck event. AKA, they dress like the Ghostbusters. Literally, right there. Of course. Boy. Of course. London calls a frazzle Moseby pretending to be Bayou Bob. Which, let's just say, that was the lie. Because Bayou Bob is Moseby's favorite piano player. Which, of course, London pretends to be Bayou Bob. which convincingly he's a real person and an entertainer that Moseby knows about. After convincing him to take his place, but quickly letting the cat out of the bag after getting too carried away with her character. Meanwhile, Zach, Cody, and Woody split up. Zach looks for Antonio until he bumps into a person that looks like him next to a portrait. As he about to shake his hand, it went right through him until he realized it's actually him. Which he say, "Are you the ghost of Captain? What do you want with me, man?" Which, of course, Antonio cannot talk. Which he's mute. Which, of course, comes with a very weird game of shit, I forgot the name of this game that you have to describe without talking. Shit. I forgot the name of it. Which, of course, he has communicated with a game of charades. Okay, as he's mute. During all this, Zach is quite dense, coming up with the word compass. Pass. As Cody and Woody follow him to the detector, which of course they don't see Antonio because only Zach can see him. Which of course Zach trying to point out that, oh, he's right here? No, you're picking his nose. That's when Woody pulls out the guns and Antonio vanishes while Woody accidentally sucks a woman's wig. Jesus. And which of course scares off Antonio away. The trio go back down the main lounge, looking through the stuff that was recovered from the artifacts recovered from the wreck, until we realize the compass was never brought up. Which of course, Dak goes down in the wreck. Which of course is Cody and Woody are saying, "Hey, you only have an hour there down there, half an hour." A back auction down there, so go and find the damn compass. Of course, Woody, hey, bring us some food. Hey, bring us some crawfish down there. And which prompt the boys say, those who say, crawfish. Oh boy. During that time, London disguised herself once more as Bayou Bob, as society was throwing performance, only to receive an off-key drumming note and a horrible scattering, forcing Moseby to play at the piano when people start rising up. The mission was accomplished, but the ghost mystery isn't. Just as Moseby is having great fears are warmed up, he's like, "Oh, having a great time." That's when the trio crash and tell the historical society what actually happened. Which, of course, Mr. Morgan said, "Oh, come on!" That's when Zach explains the real story of what actually happened to Captain Antonio and prove his innocence. The real story goes that Captain Antonio had first name Corey Scully, who was jealous of his captain proposing to Jezebel, which an iron medallion in the back of the compass. Iron interferes with the magnetic polarity, causing the misreading and killing off the entire ship. Except for one, himself. He proposed to Jezebel after the sabotage, but she refused. Antonio was her only true love and died an old maid. Which of course led me a fucked up joke to Bailey. You say, "Oh, just like you, Bailey." And she's like, Jesus. Which of course Zach is praised and everybody applauds to him for his great discovery, and Moseby plays a jazz song for everyone to celebrate. Meanwhile, this song I like because meanwhile Zach walks by, he sees Antonio, and guess who appears? Jezebel appears, and both of them saying, "Hey, she looked good for a ghost for 100 years," and mistakenly calling the old lady that's always in the ship, smacks him with the purse. When she smacked him with the purse, he's actually like, "When you getting off his boat?" Which, of course, meanwhile, we get off scene with this cruise ship, and guess what's next to it? Walk off together into the Erie steamboat, swim right next to the modern cruise ship. We see the ghost ship of the Jezebel steaming past the SS Tipton and vanishing into the fog under the full moon. Which, dude, when you hear that piano playing, you see that ghost ship straight disappearing in the fog right there, the ending. Beautiful. And creepy. That's the last thing you want to see in the foggy night in the bayou. A phantom ghost ship. Especially a steamship. But still, I kind of like that. In the ending, Zach gets an A on his history report about the Jezebel case, and Mr. Roy, well, just say Zach, Cody, and Woody congratulate him. He deserved it. That's what Mr. Moseby called a little bit of their ghost skins, kind of actually triggered them into cleaning up the party mess from last night with their ghost gear. Wow. That sucked. So, yeah. And those are my thoughts on the ghost and Mr. Martin. And to tell you the truth, that was a great Halloween episode for... I think this is for season 11? No, this was season 3 back in 2010. Back in October 8th of 2010. And this was a good episode for that. I think this was the only Halloween episode for the Sleep on Deck. If I recall, in Sleep with Zach Cody, there were only 2. The Ghost of Sweet 613 and Frank and Irwin. I think this is the only one involving ghosts, which... The funny part is they made a reference from the first season episode of Sweet Zack and Cody, of the Ghost of Sweet 613, which of course Zack mentioned about the ghost, which of course Cody rubs off saying they keep seeing popping out everywhere, which is actually pretty funny. That when they were kids, they actually saw a ghost, but they believe it. But of course, oh boy, it's actually pretty funny, actually. But yeah, people, and yeah, both of my thoughts on the Sweet Life on Deck episode, the Ghost of Sweet Six. Sorry, the Ghost of Mr. Chicken. Which, oh yeah. Remember the episode? Yeah, I agree. They did make a reference to that, but it's actually pretty cool. But yeah, both of my thoughts on the Ghost and Mr. Martin. And if you enjoyed this episode, I think I saw this when I was in the 8th grade. It was a good episode. But what are your thoughts? Did you like it? Did you enjoy the episode when you first saw it? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe, hit the bell, like this video, and remember our goal to hit 1 million subscribers, or at least 500k, because by May of this year is our 11th anniversary, from 2013 to 2023, so let's make this happen. Until then, have a great day, everybody. Peace out.